Hello and welcome to the PM Show, your weekly roundup of all the news and gossip of what's going on at PM Models and the modelling industry as a whole. Good afternoon, Mr. Matt. Are you well?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well. Are you freezing up there, up north?
It's yeah, I can see with your t-shirt on. It's not very warm, shall we say, in here today.
That's it. First day. So it's the first day of autumn yesterday, so that's it now.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's why the weather's just changed like dramatically from yesterday being 20 odd degrees to 14 today. So
I know
it's wet as well. So there we go. Like I say, the weather is changing on us. So
yes, I can't lie. It has actually been pissing down with rain all morning here. So
yeah.
Good old Devon's wet and horrible. But yeah, so hopefully you guys will be buying lots of kits and modelling, because now we have to social distance. We have to come up with a slogan. I think we have little things, it's to say mask as in respirators. So that's what we should be doing here. Should be respirators when you're spraying. Distance your modelling kits, so don't build too many at once because you'll burn out your mojo.
Yeah, only 6 at a time.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, only allowed to build rule 6 models at a time. Yeah, the rule of 6. So yes, we'd be good. But we trust you're all doing very well at home and staying safe, all jokes aside and everything. So as I say, as we run into the autumn, into the winter now, it's going to be one of those things. The dark evenings are upon us, isn't it? The evenings are cold in, the weather's going cold. So modelling season, as I call it, normally it's quiet in the summer, and then you get to now and it starts to pick up. Yeah. But because of obviously with COVID as it's been busy all throughout the summer.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It has, yeah. It's just what it is. Different year in it, really. It's, it's how it's going to be. So, but it's all good.
All good. I think they're saying, isn't it, is that this is the new normal now. So we've got this for at least 6 months as a minimum. So that's it.
Yeah. Anyway. Just adapt and crack on with it till it all, I won't say blows over, because it probably, until we've got a bit of normality back, shall we say?
Yes.
So
hopefully.
Yes.
Hopefully soon. Anyway, this week I've been really busy. As a lot of you know, the reviews have started to go up, as you can see down below here. First review that's gone up has been the Stearman. Well, there you go, satellite delay, which is the review for this one. Beautiful kit, as I said, it's ICM. Well, I'm not going to lie, I'm a fanboy of ICM. I like their stuff. It's very simple the way it goes together, and that makes for an enjoyable build. You know exactly what you're going to get. It's not a million part counts on that one, so the review of that one went up this week as well. So if you want to go off and have a look at that one, again, a great kit. So we're assuming there's going to be loads of different versions of this one coming along.
I would have thought so, but
let's face it, they're good at doing different loads. I think there's 3 or 4 of the Gladiator now, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. Yeah. They're going to get their obviously the mould life out of them, aren't they? And why not?
Absolutely.
How much tooling costs? You've got to make the most of it. So I take it you will be building it.
I will be building it, yeah. Probably not this year, because as I said, my build log's pretty much chocker for the run to the end of the year. But it looks lovely, and when I did it, as you can see, the little thumbnail on the down below, the yellow and grey version's really nice.
Yes.
Because it sort of breaks it up as well. So again, and when I had a look online, there's many different, obviously, colour schemes and versions of it out there. So over the traditional sort of blue and yellow, which is that iconic colour for them. But really very, very nice. But I am going to build it. It'll be next year now. As I say, the build log's full up this year. But again, looking forward to doing it, because if it's anything like the Gladiator, they're a dream build. As I said, they go together very quickly, which is nice because you can get on with it. And there's not a million part counts. I think there's only 3 sprues in it as well. So, but there's a lot on there.
I like about their 30-second kits, because obviously with the Gladiator that you've built, that one, I think they do the Booker, don't they? And the parts count for the size is very low, but I think obviously they're picking kits that aren't very complicated as real aircraft as well.
Yeah.
Which obviously keeps the part count down to a reasonable level, but you get good detail. So, they do some really interesting subjects. Like I say, it's because the Rodin do one as well, don't they?
Yes.
In 30-second, but I think that one's a bit more refined, shall we say?
Yes, I think the details. So it's got that very nice finish to the plastic as well. It's such a satin finish, like a CAD type look to it. And again, its simplicity, I think, is one of its selling points, because again, like I said in the review, with rigging and internal structures.
Yeah.
Let's face it, I've built quite a few wing nut wings kits now, and you spend a lot of time messing around with stuff you never see.
Yeah.
And that stuff, if you don't get it right, can cause fit issues down the line, where these, they tend to do them quite simplistically. So when you're in the cockpit and looking in, you can see all of that detail without tons of stuff you're never going to see and stuff like that. So from my point of view, I enjoy it because you can get really on with it very, very quickly and get to the, the interesting part, so to speak. So it doesn't take long to get it buttoned up. A little bit of work in the cockpit, you can detail it, weather it and all the rest of it, and away you go. It's not like you're painting tons of stuff and adding different stuff in there. You could if you wanted to, but I've never seen the point really. And again, the engine's really nice on it as well. Good detail on the engine. So because it's all exposed, you want to get the detail in.
It's exposed and it's not under a cowling or anything. So
no.
So where do you think they'll go next then?
I'll tell you what. After see, do you know that's it? I was going to say I think natural progression after that would be to do a Tiger Moth, because again, there's lots of different versions out there. Yep. It's a current aircraft that's still flying to this day, such as obviously with the Stearman and things like that. So yeah, I think personally, wouldn't be at all surprised to see a nice 30-second Tiger Moth come along, which, I think it would be very well received by the community, because we could do with a new up-to-date one.
Yeah, I mean, there is a resin one out in the 30-second. I think somebody, I can't remember which company it is, but as for a styrene one, I mean, obviously you've got the Airfix 48th one and 72nd one, which are really nice, but it's one of them aircraft that just transfers well into 30-second. Yeah,
definitely.
Like most biplanes do, to be honest, for the size of them. They're not that big, and they just, obviously, they just scale up 30-second, brilliant.
And again, it's fitting that thing, because obviously they did the German trainer, which I can't remember what it's called now.
A Booker,
that was it. So they've done that one, which is a nice one. Obviously with the Gladiator and now with the Stearman, it sort of fills that sort of, interwar as well as post-war type effect with it as well. So I must admit, I can see that one coming down the line at some point. I haven't heard of anything yet. I'd be very, very surprised if they didn't continue it down, because it rounds it off and finishes it off for sort of well-known biplanes and things like that.
Yeah, trainers, yeah. Pre-war and obviously, wartime trainers, really. So it would make sense.
Also, the other thing I thought about would be with ICM, would be a Harvard. If they're going down that route, because again, I did think about it when I did that one, because obviously the natural progression after the Stearman's the Harvard. So if they're going to start to go down that line, and again, I think it's one of those aircraft that, for what's out there, and it's current, because obviously of air shows and warbird scene and stuff like that, there's versions of it. It would be quite a nice, I should think, from their point of view, they're getting the money out of the mould by all the different versions down the line as well.
Oh God, there'd be loads, wouldn't there? Because you can do the French one, can't you? That was which one's that one called? I think it's Fennec, but it's not, because that's the one you built, isn't it? That's a Trojan. But there'll be loads. There's loads of other options, and countries use them. You can do civil ones and all sorts. So
But again, it's the thing I like about ICM as well, is that they are producing kits that I think is all the type of kits you don't necessarily think I would like to build, and then you see it and you think, I'd love to build that. So it was a bit like the Gladiator coming along. The world's been after a Gladiator for a long time, and now obviously you've got the different versions of it out there as well, and they're all very appealing. And then obviously with the Stearman Cadet, it's definitely I would love to build one of those, even though I've never thought of it until now. So, and again, I think if they did a Harvard, it would be one of those that say, that's quite nice, because again, if you're going to go for the post-war ones, and certainly the warbird scene, there's some fantastic different markings with Navy markings and RAF markings as well, and things like that, right the way through for all the countries that have used it as a trainer.
Back to that. God, I built a 48th one, but it's I can't remember the name of the make, but it's in a box over there, and it's one with a sharp mouth on it, or a mouth on it and stuff. It looks mean. It looks really good. I think it was like Algeria or somewhere, one of somewhere like that it was used. But like I say, there's just loads of schemes for them, isn't there? So.
Yes. Good kits, as I say. They're not massively expensive either. I think they're priced about right, which is nice as well. Level of detail is fantastic with them. I've never had a fit issue with an ICM kit, apart from that MiG-25 along the nose thing, which I just chopped it off and did it manually as well. So again, very enjoyable, very relaxing build. Like sometimes you can build a kit and it's a bit of a handful, and when you get things involved like rigging and wooden things and fabric effects, you can make it as complicated as you like then. then, and that's the thing. But the kit itself goes together very, very well. So any details you add after that, it's up to you. But again, from a out of the box build, yeah, really, really enjoyable. It's the type of thing you relax building it, and it's nice when it's done. You know, it's not a hassle, which is always, I think, especially this day and age, it's nice to have a kit that goes together as it's supposed to, and you enjoy it. So
I think they've gone kind of like when they're designing down the Tamiya route, haven't they? I think nice to construct. Not many, not overly gone mad with the parts count. So you're not bogged down in that side of it, and like I say, you can get it done and finished, but you've still got a nicely detailed kit. So. Fair play to him. ICM.
Yeah, no, definitely. Again, I think it just plays to all the strengths of the kit. Again, you're talking about it, it's the way, because when you open up the box with that kit, you get it out and it's like, is that it? Because it's literally like 2 sprues and a little sprue, and it's like, so where's the rest of it? Because it's a 30-second scale kit. But again, when you look at it, the detail that are all on the parts are all very, very nice. And like the engine, it's on like 1 sprue with it, which you'd see in that photo down in there. But let's face it, other manufacturers would have you do like the pistons inside if it's Zucamori, isn't it? And all of that. Who the hell's ever going to see that? And to me, it's a little bit, that's up the parts count to make it look and sell you a bigger kit that really you don't need to do. And that's the nice thing with ICM. They always seem to keep it. You get what you need without all the stuff you don't, and that's, I think, is again keeps the price down at the end of the day, which gives you a good value kit.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so can they make it 3 in a row this year for Manufacturer of the Year, or
Well, the trouble is this lot here, which is the other review that I got released yesterday for Armour Hobby. And again, the funny thing is, if you look at Armour Hobby and you look at ICM, very similar. It's like they're the mini version of, because the styrene is incredibly similar, if not the same. So it makes you wonder if the manufacturing's coming, same, places or something.
Yeah.
Because again, the way that they go together and everything else. But another classic example about not overcomplicating it. It's a 1/72nd scale aircraft, but this is the 3rd one that we've looked at now, and obviously built the Hurricane. Again, it's 1 sprue, so you think a little bit let down when you take it out of the box, because it literally is just 1 sprue on this one, and you sort of look at it and it's like, okay, so where's the rest of it? But when you have a look closely at it, and especially the detail that is actually on this kit, it's unbelievable. Go off and see the review on this one, because again, the riveting detail that is on the underside of that, because obviously it's a metal wing underneath there, it's absolutely tiny. And like I said, the great thing is the versions in there, you've got the Polish one and 2 Russian ones, and one of them is winter camo. Winter camo with a wash on it would look absolutely stunning, with the white wash, with the dark, with the white camo with the dark wash. It would show all of the riveting on that. And again, but my slight disappointment with this particular kit is that it's a fixed cockpit. Okay. So you can't have it open.
Right.
So it's a 1-piece drop in, and away you go, which was a little bit of a shame, because I think, it would have been nice, like the Hurricane, you can have a look in there. So this thing, you clearly can't. And it's a lot more confined cockpit than the Hurricane is as well. So you don't have to worry about too much in there. But it's one of those, you look how clean and sharp all the parts are. As I said, the detail on the kit is absolutely amazing. And then you have to keep reminding yourself, this is actually 72nd scale. And so it's a very, very tiny little thing.
Oh, yeah, they're not big.
This is one of those things. If you look at a 1980s Airfix kit, and you put that next to this, it's literally like, I wouldn't say night and days. It's more like cheese and toffee, because the sharpness, the crispness of it, and again, if you look at the details that are in there from a scale point of view, I know Airfix have often argued that the reason the panel lines are a little bit heavier, shall we say, and the reason they don't go down the riveting thing is purely because of, one, cost of tooling. To do details of that size is incredibly expensive, but also from a modeller's point of view, if you make the details too fine, you paint over them and you go through. But I think that's wrong, because you get companies like this, and to be honest, we'll talk about in a moment with Edard, who produce, I think, the finest recessed details out there, and you don't cover them. As long as you're airbrushing, I think you're hand painting, you might have a problem, but from an airbrushing point of view, thin paint, you don't have a problem with it. And it just goes to show that I imagine Armour Hobby must be on that cutting edge of how fine you can make it.
Yeah.
Because, say, have a look at the review, because that detail on the underside of the wing and down on the side of the fuselage, is absolutely microscopic. I had my magnifiers on afterwards to have a proper look.
Yeah, I've just had a thought here. Right, how obviously the companies who are producing these out of Poland, the Czech Republic, Ukraine, why don't actually then, I'm not saying Airfix, but we'll use Airfix as an example, we won't pick on Airfix or whatever, but why don't they then go, can you tool our kits?
Yes.
So they keep it in Europe, it's not travelling the other way around the world. I know there's a cost thing, I appreciate that, but if they can do it as in, as fine as you saying with the details and everything, and it's, eastern side of Europe rather than Asia side round the world, wouldn't you sort of, as a company, think, well, we'll look into it? You never know. Do you know what I mean? Because
to be honest with you, it does make you wonder, because in this day and age, and here we go on the political eco, tree hugging department, but they often talk about carbon air miles and stuff like that. Well, most things, as we know, is obviously tooled, and normally, injection molding's done in the Far East.
Yeah.
But you've got the cost environmentally and physically of getting that stuff back into the UK, where then it gets distributed, and from the UK ones like Airfix and stuff like that. When, as we know, Airfix only a decade ago, the injection moulding, a lot of it was done in the UK.
Yes.
For the smaller kits, and we know the biggest stuff was done abroad, but the 72nd scale stuff was done in the UK. But for whatever reasons, it was kicked out. And
well, it's
in some ways, I always feel my biggest gripe, and is say I don't want to turn this into a political thing, but what I love about the USA is that they are proud to put little logos on their products that says manufactured in the USA.
Yeah.
You can't do that in England because you don't make anything.
No, it all gets shipped
from beds and
abroad.
cheese.
If you look at obviously the Edard kits or the Armour kits or Mini Art or any of them, it is because it says manufactured in Poland, Ukraine, Czech Republic, wherever the company comes from. So they keep it obviously in house or home, home market sort of business.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is the quality of the moulding and the quality of the styrene they're using is top quality stuff. It's not cheap rubbish.
Yeah.
It's good quality styrene and good quality, obviously, CAD work, design work, and tooling.
Yes. And I think also that's the thing as well. I think, obviously I've just done the review of the 48 scale. I've also done the review for the 32nd. That'll be up later. But, this one's up now. You can see this now. And again, if you look at the detail in there and the way they go through, and this one's is in-house kit. So they do all the design work in-house, and then obviously the tooling work is done in-house, and then obviously the injection mold is done in-house. And it must be so nice because, as we know, we've spoken to obviously Airfix about it when we've chatted with them, and they've got that delay between waiting for tooling to come back and it to be checked and do test shots. If the test shots are wrong, it's got to go back. It must be lovely to walk down the hall and go, need to change that because look,
or across the courtyard,
across the courtyard or wherever it is, even if they've got to drive to a different building.
But I think that's why as well, though, obviously with the companies we're talking about, they can produce kits as quick as they are doing. I'm not being funny. I know you have not gotten on there, but we'll look at Mini Art. They are prolific at what they release. All right, they are recycling kits that they've done in different versions and blah, blah, blah. But they've just brought out a new T34.
Yeah.
And it's not just like one version. There's a load of them coming out. So you've got interior ones and, and this tractor, I'm looking forward to. Have you seen the tractor that they're bringing out? This German agricultural tractor. That's just brilliant. Well, again, they're a bit left field with what they release. But obviously it works because obviously it's done there or in the Ukraine. So like you've said, it's a quicker process because it's obviously getting from the CAD or the design process to tooling to in the shops in a lot shorter space of time than it is for other companies who are obviously like having the moulds, done across the world.
Yeah, absolutely. But I just think as well from an eco planet, David Attenborough. I watched him the other day. That's it now.
Save the elephants.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, you do have to think about this as well, is that the one mileage that's involved and getting this stuff in, and
Yeah.
it's crazy at the end of the day.
It
But
is, yeah.
again, it does seem to have been, I know we spoke about it over the last few years, especially with flooring models when we do our annual reviews and various things, and we say about basically the old, what were the sort of Eastern Bloc countries,
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned, are now the place to be for moulding.
I
For
agree. I
kits,
think they've
because
taken over.
they've actually taken over. It used to be obviously, the big holy
Japan.
grail was obviously basically Bandai, Tamiya, Hasegawa. It was the Japanese market,
It's
wasn't
Japanese, wasn't it? Yeah.
but now I can honestly say that you've got companies, and obviously Edard I think were the forefront with it going through. But again, then you've got all these small companies that come out of nowhere, like your ICMs of this world, like your hobby, Armour Hobby. And
Dora
it's like
Wings.
Dora Wings, yeah. And
Yeah.
these companies,
They
literally,
pop it
their
up.
first kit is like brilliant, and you're like, other companies, it's like, mediocre at best, and it takes a while for the curve to ramp up.
But just thing that we haven't mentioned is Copper State.
Oh, another good one, absolutely, yeah,
You know, the quality of their kits is just
Yes.
again off the chart, isn't it?
yeah,
What
absolutely.
Copper State produce.
And again, Copper State, they literally came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Literally, their first kit release, you were like, my word, this is fantastic. It's like, how?
It's
How
Wing
did you
Wings,
do this? Yes, it's a
wasn't
Wing
it,
Nut
was
Wings
it?
kit. Come on, admit it. And it's like, no, it's not. It's our own in its own gear. And I've spoken to them as well. We've actually done questions and answers with them. And, my first question was that, go on then, it's Wing Nut Wings, isn't it? And they were like, honestly, it's not. But we have taken all what we think is the best parts of Wing Nut Wings, and we've used them in our kits. So that may be the way the instructions are. We've taken artistic liberties, and I must admit, hands up for saying it, because it's what people should do. If it's somebody's got a winning thing, don't copy it 100%, but that's what you do. You're inspirational is a way of that's it. If you're inspired to go through that route because it's working, then why not?
But I mean, take the instructions out of it. The kits are just quality anyway. The moulding. I mean, we're down
absolutely.
the same scenario of what we've just said, obviously about the Edard kits and armour and what are coming out of that side of Europe, shall we say? I mean, you can even bring Zarevsta into it. Zarevsta has gone from very mediocre, like ICM were, to bang up there. Their Hercules is due pretty soon, and I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yes.
But I mean, moulding wise and quality wise, is everything they've brought out. Over the past few years has been top draw.
It has, absolutely. And it's amazing in some ways, again, when you look at, again, like Zvezda's a classic example, is that, mediocre, I think you're being generous actually, because some of their kits were a little bit, and then all of a sudden they, I know they had a few new members of staff in there and things like that, which I'm aware of, and, again, they brought their skill set in, but Zvezda went from being mediocre to fantastic stuff, really good kits, good quality kits, no problem with the builds again, and they came out of nowhere. But I think from my point of view, if you see how it's progressed, how companies like Edard's always been very, very good, don't get me wrong, but now they're just galloping. They're really stretching their legs now and getting it together, which is nice. And then you've got these other small companies coming along in that part of the world. But really, what have we seen out of Japan? Tamiya, I'm not being horrible to Tamiya because they'll still have a fond place in my heart, but they haven't done anything for me in a few years now. There's nothing they've done that I've thought, wow, that's really taken it to the next
They're
level.
safe. They've all played safe.
That's what we've often said, that, haven't it? Is
obviously,
that they're playing to the home market. They know what sells.
But you buy a Tamiya kit, you're going to have a nice build. Whatever you buy from, whatever range of Tamiya kit you get, from the aircraft to the cars to the armour, it's a nice build. It'll go together. You will have no problems with it as long as you follow the instructions, and you'll have something at the end of it that looks pretty good. And that's been Tamiya's ethos since the beginning when they started. And to be fair, a lot of the companies that we've mentioned are probably taking a leaf from that book and looking at it. I know some of them go off and it's part counts and everything else, but at the end of the day, I think Tamiya have set the benchmark. Everybody else now has caught up.
Yes, I think that's the trouble. I think with Tamiya that's been is that if you think really from say 2000, they had a couple of really nice kits that were released. We saw incredibly thin moulding. We saw some fantastic details, some new ways of doing things. but since then they've almost plateaued. You
Yeah.
know, and again, I think they seem to have driven the business in a slightly different direction, as we know. So you know, obviously they've gone down through cars and bikes a little bit more in recent
48
years.
scale armour.
48 scale armour, things like that. They seem to have moved away somewhat from the traditional of where we used to see big releases, 30-second scale releases. We said that we think that's a dying duck anyway on the bigger scales, because, you know, as you say, I think a lot of companies got burnt with a lot of big tooling costs and stuff like that, and now they're thinking, yeah, let's go more smaller
Yeah,
stuff.
it's gone the other way, really, wasn't it? 'Cause
Yeah.
like I say, I think Trumpeter was the main one with the 30-second stuff. They kind of pushed it, didn't they? Because, like I say, even back in when we was younger, it was sort of niche then, really, weren't it?
Oh, yeah,
to be honest. You know, you had the old Revell stuff and a few from, like, the 24th stuff from Airfix and a few 30-second from Matchbox. And then, you know, I think Tamiya did a few, didn't they, in 30-second, but it was never massive, was it? Even in the States, when you had Monogram and everything, they always stuck with quarter scale to them, or 48th, wasn't it? It was very rare they went up, and then all of a sudden it was a big thing, 30-second, and I think the idea was nice. You got into it for a bit, didn't you? Built quite a few of the big 30-second stuff. And I don't know, it's all seemed to have flipped now, and it's all 70-second. It's gone the other way, and it's gone all back to... But the detail's there in them. I think that was the problem, wasn't it? They couldn't get the detail in the 70-second.
No.
48, like they could in the 30-second, but now obviously technology and computer design and all that lot, you can get it. You can probably get it into 1144, really.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely.
You know, and the molding technology and stuff. So why spend all that money on tooling, design for a 30-second kit you're not going to sell a load of, really, if you're realistic?
Yeah.
Then you can put it in a 48 or even a 70-second one where you can sell bucket loads.
Yeah.
Just my theory.
Yeah, it is, and I think really now, because as you say, because the tooling and obviously with CAD work and stuff like that now, it can be refined so much that, you know, you can do it standard in a 70-second scale. You know, like I've often said, is that 30-second scale became 48, 48 became 70-second. We are seeing some 144 kits coming down the line now, and I have built a couple as well, and they are amazing. They go together really well, and the level of detail that's on them is incredible. You know, so again, it's that fashion, isn't it? So a couple of years ago, it was 24th scale. 30-second scale, and even we saw 16th scale coming down the line. This year we've seen a lot of 70-second scale stuff, and it seems to be going more the other way. So
well, again, I think obviously, I mean, what computers can do now is unbelievable, but obviously you've got to translate that then into tooling. And obviously with laser technology and all that, like, it's not a bloke with a hammer and chisel and a grinder, is it, making the molds? You know, you could be even on paper you could be the best designer in the world, but you've still got to translate that into a physical mold. And, you know, obviously the technology 30 years ago, probably even 20 years ago, has so moved on. And then obviously in another 10 years' time, it will have progressed again and progressed again.
Absolutely.
You know, it's just going to get finer and finer and more detailed, isn't it? So
when we've all got our replicator in the corner.
Well, that's what it'll be. It will be that, won't it?
It'll be like a microwave.
There
you go. Thank you.
Sci-fi.
It'll be like, bing, there you go. There's your kit. Thanks.
That'll be, but it will happen. It's going to go that way.
Of course it will. Absolutely. I think, you know, as you say, it's like everything in this world. Progression. Time moves on. Everything changes. We've had a lot of new members join the site recently, and after like a 30-year break. And it's like night and day. It's like,
must be like a caveman coming from
that's it.
From the Stone Age to now.
Used to be whittling kits, literally, to, you know.
Well, it is. I bet, for, like, say, from the returnees who haven't done it since they were a kid back in the 70s, 80s, whenever, to coming back now, it's just like, it must be mind blowing.
Absolutely.
I would like to actually do that. I know that's obviously impossible, but wouldn't you like to just go back and then come back?
Yes.
With no knowledge.
Yeah.
And start again and just go, wow. This is just mental.
Definitely. Right, okay, so something we do have to talk about is we've got an auction.
We have on Sunday, so
it's going to be Sunday 7 o'clock. You do have to be a Flory Models member to bid, but you can watch for free.
Join, like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe and join and all the rest of it.
To be honest, these are going to be a lot more regular than they have been as well.
Yes.
You know,
so just to put this into context as well, is that what we tend to do is these are kits that either like the team have got, that some of the members may have had and things like that, which we're selling on their behalf, or it's reviews. So when I get reviews, if I don't build them, obviously they go back in here and then they make their way out to, out on the auction type way of doing it.
Normally the bags are opened, or
That's it. So it may be the bags.
Stock, so
yeah,
they're just going to auction really, because obviously otherwise we'll just have piles and piles of kits
and that's the trouble.
So I mean, I bet you've got a bit of a stash there, haven't you?
We have at the moment. Yeah, I've got a giant stash. It's got to come back up.
It'll come back with me when I come to you, hopefully.
Yeah. If you're allowed out.
If I'm allowed, if I'm allowed past Birmingham Way.
Yeah, that's it. Anyway, so this is some of the lots we got down here. We've got 30 lots coming up on Sunday.
Yep.
So again, we've got that's the motorised one. I've just noticed that.
And that's one of them that's a special order from Japan. We can't stop that in the UK. We don't stock it in the UK, shall we say, from our supplier.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
so that's a Frank. Yeah, that's Frank. So it's the 48 scale Frank. So again, it's the motorised version of that one.
There you go.
We've got Viewfighter.
Yeah, classic kit.
Absolutely, and to be honest, that's one of those ones that the Revel one's out there and all the rest of it, but yeah.
I was about to say that's one of the we were talking about a few weeks ago, isn't it? A Tamiya classic, and it's still cheap, really.
Very, very nice
really
indeed.
Gone up. That was from BT's, look. Have you seen the little sticker?
Yes.
That shows how long he's had that. How long BT's been out of business.
Okay, so we've got T54, 35 fifth scale.
Yep.
From Mini Arts, we were saying about theirs.
Yep.
The Rosmac, is it Rosmac?
Rosamac. That's the one Kev's built, isn't it, on the side?
Yeah, I suppose it's a giant striker.
It's massive. That is huge.
T85.
Yeah, T85. Nice kit. Another Mini Art.
There he is. All at the Capo, which was obviously reboxed by Edard.
Yeah, that comes with some extras. So cockpit.
Bits and pieces in with that one.
And the old SU22 with cockpit and wheels.
There's a bit of Neo Mega stuff in there as well, look. So
yeah,
got some of that.
Neo Mega cockpit. Oh, look, an Atlas.
An Atlas. I got one of them and all.
Yeah, you want to stick it in?
Yes. I was just actually seeing, mine's got the different box art to that one. Did they change the box art?
Yeah, that's the late one. You've got a really early one, haven't you?
I think must have the very early version of that. Yeah, because I've got a different box art on mine.
Yeah.
There's a classic.
A 124.
Do you know what? It's funny, actually. I might actually bid on that. Because I've still got a hankering one day in my life to do the FA2 conversion to it.
Okay.
Don't ask me why.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I know. It would be one of those. Anyway, speaking of other ones, there you go. Matchbox. That's a classic, that is. I remember having that kit. Very nice with a Griffin powered. Okay, so that classic 32nd scale Spitfire.
Yep. That's a good set.
Again.
Because I had actually had a message from somebody, an email about F1 kits and why you can't get them anymore. Like I pointed out, it's licensing.
Yeah, it's
just killed it for manufacturers to make F1 kits anymore. Hence why Tamiya used to do loads, don't do it no more. I think Revell used to do a lot of F1 kits.
Yeah.
And some of them, some of the other ones out of Japan. And licensing now is just, sponsorship,
horrendous.
Licensing. It's just not worth doing them, which is a real shame, really. But there you go. There's some classic McLarens anyway.
Some classic McLarens in there, definitely. Very nice indeed. You even get the paints and glue.
Well, just what you need.
There you go. The classic 48 scale Intruder.
Good kit.
As well. Hobby Boss one. Really nice kit as well. This photo might change, I take it.
No, it's not that one.
Oh, isn't it that one? Is there one worse in here than that, is there?
Yeah, that one's not great though, is it? I might change that as well. That's lovely.
There you go. Classic Mini. A friend of mine, she's got a Mini like that. She won it. And it's got Union Jack on the roof as well.
Is it? Is it a supercharger or a turbo one?
No, it's just a normal one, I think it is, but she won it somehow. But she's been driving it for donkey's years now. It's one of the first new shape ones. So,
That's supercharger one then.
Oh yeah,
they're all S's, aren't they?
It's the one with the dodgy radiators in them. They always overheat.
Yeah, that'd be, yeah.
Anyway, Luftwaffe set.
So you get, that's a good set as well, actually.
It is actually, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, you get all 4 kits in it. So
you get all the nice ones in there. You got the Starfighter, the Phantom, the Tornado, and the Typhoon.
I'm not sure about the Starfighter, but the other three are brilliant kits.
Yes, definitely.
That's when Revell were,
Yeah. Well, as we said before, isn't it? The Phantom's a really nice Phantom. The Tornado is best in scale, full stop, and so it's the only version you're going to get a decent of the Typhoon.
It is, yeah. I don't think the Starfighter's a bad kit either, to be honest. So that's a good and a nice set of decals with it, I think, as well.
Yeah. No,
60
nice,
years of the Luftwaffe look.
Yes, lots of Luftwaffe stuff. So we got a Luftwaffe Phantom.
Yep.
And again, this was the 32nd one. And to be honest with you, a lot of people ask me about this kit because they say about, obviously, the Tamiya one. Well, the Tamiya don't do the F anyway, so they only do the E. So if you want the F, this is where you want to go anyway. And also, it's really nice. From an external point of view, it's all recessed details on it, and it goes together okay. It just doesn't have the finesse like the Tamiya ones do. But if you're into just that external look and you're not worried about a fully detailed cockpit and stuff down the intakes and obviously with the engines and stuff like that, for an overall, I think they're fantastic. They're really nice kits.
I think you get away with just whacking a couple of resin seats in that, can't you?
Absolutely.
I've had a couple of them and the cockpit is lacking a bit of detail, but I think if you shut it up and put a couple of seats in it, you don't see much anyway.
No.
Yeah, it's a good big kit as well, isn't it?
Big kit, yeah, it's a big old kit. There we go. We've got the Tirpitz.
Platinum edition.
So this has got all the massive loads of photo etch for it.
Yeah. And as Andy's put, look, very large box because it's massive.
It's huge, yes.
It is,
so
actually, it's massive.
The Platinum ones, you might remember I did the Platinum version of the aircraft carrier that I did. That comes with a shed load of photo etch. So if you do want something to while away those winter hours for the next 5 years, there you go.
That is the kit for you, isn't it, that one?
It is.
That's like Revell's thing of a Profi pack, isn't it?
It is, yeah, definitely. So you get all the stuff that you need in that one. So in some ways, although we joke about it, it is a large amount of work, but it is the one to do. Very nice indeed.
Yeah.
That's the one. One. It looks like he's driving really fast.
I was about to say he's going that fast. I couldn't catch it on the camera.
So it is. It looks like he's speeding.
Yeah. So there we go.
Got two very nice ones there. So it's the 540K.
Yeah.
And then below it, look, we've got the Rolls-Royce Phantom 2.
There you go. So you can have a couple of proper classics from back in the day.
Proper classic cars, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, my earpiece keeps falling out today. I don't know why it won't stay in my ears. You think my ears this big, there wouldn't be a problem.
There's a Menking Tiger with a bit of a damaged box. So.
Yes.
But kit's fine. Kit's all there. It's just the box has got a bit of a tear in it. So yeah, it's Meng in it. So
very nice. Which is the one I did?
You did the Tacken one with the full interior.
Mine was the Tacken one, that was it, yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice indeed. Some cars.
And so, we've got a few sort of bundles, I'll call them. So this is the racing bundle.
Yeah.
The Italy racing bundle. So again, classics, because they're esky kits, but they're still, still go together fine.
Very nice indeed.
Nice decals. And then we've got obviously the Audi
the rally section.
So the rally section, yeah.
That's it. Fire up the Quattro.
Literally. I prefer the Lancia.
Touring cars.
Yeah.
So I must admit, I've reviewed them. Really, very, very nice. In fact, I take it they're my review ones, are they?
Could be.
Yeah, because I reviewed both of them, didn't I? So there is reviews of these if you want to see. To be honest, it probably reviews a lot of this stuff. So yeah, really nice job in there. We did a review of this as well.
Yep.
So this is the old bus, the omnibus. Again, I don't know from that version if you could do the normal version from it.
No, I think that's the other version. That's
because they did two versions of it, so I don't know how much they
version.
upgraded it to make it the military one.
Yeah. Well, again, it's a fantastic kit.
It is beautiful kit. The Volvo 240, there's a classic.
And a M3.
Yeah, very nice. Classics. 112 scale, F104G, so it's Starfighter cockpit.
Yep.
We're talking about these, the old esky kits.
Yeah. Something different.
There we go. We've got the Iron Maiden, Aces High. With eddies. Do you get two eddies? Oh yeah, two eddies.
Yeah, you get
seated
two eddies.
And standing.
Yep.
Very nice indeed.
Yeah, Tornado F3.
Tornado F3. Very nice indeed. Okay.
And then a bit of a bundle with some Tamiya as well. So that's
saying about the classic Tamiyas, the good ones.
Because with the off track, you see, and then the radio truck and a Wearable Wind, which is, it's a new one actually. It's a new Revell one.
Right, very nice indeed. And then last up, lot 30.
Yep. The Jeep and your favourite, an Easy 8.
I like my Easy 8. Very nice indeed.
Yeah. So that's this Sunday's auction. So Andy's taking pre-bids. So any members who are interested, get in touch with Andy and let him know how much you were willing to pay.
Yes, so usual thing for this, so I'll do a quick rundown of it. You can either bid live, okay, so we use our live chat room. As we know, there is a delay. I'm going to try and make it even less than normal. I've got a new system, so we'll try it. Okay, so that way we might be able to actually make the delay between us doing it here and then obviously it appears, because obviously there's a bit of lag between the systems. It's normally anywhere between 10 seconds and 30 seconds, depending where you are in the world. So we tend to do that. I'll get my phone out as always with a countdown timer and all the rest of it, so we can see exactly where we're going with that one. I might try and have a different overhead with it on there so you can see it. I'll do it separate. So we'll try and sort that one out. But basically you bid up in pound bids, £2 bids as it goes through. If you send us a bid, we will bid on your behalf. So it's proxy bidding. So we will bid up to the maximum. You tell us what your maximum is, obviously, for the night. So if you can't join us live, email Andy. It's at the bottom of that link down on the forum, and then obviously he will then bid on your behalf up until you say yes or no. So we will bid incrementally up in pounds or £2 or whatever it is up to that point. Okay, and that is as simple as it. Obviously postage, it goes on afterwards after the bid, because obviously a lot of you combine, you know, so we'll do a bundle of kits or whatever, we'll send it out in one, various things like that. So prices do not include postage and packing, and obviously we will ship it around the world, but we're acutely aware getting stuff anywhere out of England costs a fortune. So just remember that when you are bidding as well on that one, and please pay up in a timely fashion.
Yes.
Otherwise we'll send Andy after you, and he's not well at the moment, so you really don't want that.
No, you don't want a poorly Andy around.
He's like a rabid dog. He's almost foaming at the mouth. So yes. Anyway, various other bits and pieces coming in. We got restocks of Hataka paints all the time coming in, don't we?
Restocks of Hataka paints coming. Hopefully by the end of the week we're going to have a restock of Mr. Hobby stuff. So thinners and everything is back in. I did get an email off from Albion Alloys who have said, I think last week and the week before, I've moved premises, and it's obviously took a bit longer than they expected, which is just a normal when you're moving. It's a big move for them. They've got probably a lot of stuff to shift and whatever, but they're back up and running. And they're hopefully going to have it out before the end of the week. So if it's here for Friday, that's good. If it's, if not, it'll be early next week. So that's another stuff coming in. Also, a pre-order
of
the triplane.
Yes,
it's out and it's in stock. So we're waiting for our sort of shipment to come in. Can't say nothing on the Revell Tornado yet, I'm afraid. I've still not heard anything, but the wing-nut triplane, Meng, whatever you want to call it, is in and available. So that will be coming to us soon. As soon as it lands, your invoices will be sent through whichever version you've ordered, as in the one with the bust or the one without. So yes. And also I'm expecting another delivery, which I was hoping to be here this morning. It could be here this afternoon or by the end of the week, and that potentially is another pre-order.
Right, cool.
I didn't say what it is because I don't want everybody going, well, if it isn't what I think it is. So yes, so they seem to be all coming in at once. And like I say, as far as I know, the Revell Tornado is actually out. I'm just waiting to get out, to be honest with you. I see some other people have got these, so I presume they are now, available and being spread around. So also as well, which hasn't come in, which I was hoping would as well, is some more tools. So scrapers, snips, usual stuff is coming out of Germany. The order's in. I'm just waiting for them to get back to me with a tracking number and when we're going to get that. So potentially everything, there will probably be more. What I was hoping for this week will probably be next week. So next week shall be, we've got this in and this in. So also restock wise, we've had rifle models restock, and also as you can see on there, there's a new Panzer IV.
Yes.
2-in-1. So that's the one without the interior, because obviously we've had the one in with the interior.
Yeah,
that's just the normal one. If anybody's interested in a Panzer IV, a late one.
Very nice. Yeah,
that should be a nice kit. I think that's it really. No arrivals, obviously, as you can see. We've still got some P38s left.
Yeah.
I've put some more back in stock, so they're all pretty much accounted for now. Who's on our pre-order system is paid.
Yeah.
There's a fantastic looking Typhoon from Kamaz from Meng.
I must admit, it does look cool, doesn't it? I often joke about I'd love to take that down the shops. That's a cool one, that is.
I think you ought to trade your car in for one of them.
Do you think it would? Take a PX on mine.
Yeah.
So, yes, very nice indeed. Something like, it's nothing that will be better than a bit of Russian hardware.
Exactly. They know how to make a truck, don't they?
Oh, they do. Yeah, they do some good stuff. Yeah, that's it.
So that's a new arrival. And also, like they see the Javelins in, and we have, as you can see, the Tamiya Zero. That's it.
Yes.
We have one.
Yeah.
Because we've had a pre-order in, and obviously it's a special order out of Japan, and somebody unfortunately for reasons couldn't have one, so we've put it up for general sale.
Yes.
So if you do want one, grab it.
Yeah, to be honest, join me. I'm going to be building mine, hopefully. Well, it might be end of the year, first one into next year, something else like that. That's where that one's going to fall.
Yeah.
So yes, looking forward to doing that one. I haven't done one before, so yeah.
And
bucket list kit.
Just while we look, Zarevsta's got a new version of a T34 out, which is a Mod 42. So, and if Zarevsta can't do a T34, then there's no hope for anybody, is there?
No, definitely. If anyone can do them, it's them. Absolutely.
Yeah, and then obviously you can see the 109s, which is behind Phil with that fantastic box art next to the Spitfire. That's what you need, look.
That's what you need. Yes. And
so when they
got to be done as a poster. We want these as posters.
And say the 110 into it as well. And he's putting the pre-orders up for the 110s. I think he's going to do it today, actually. And the MiG-19 that's due out. The Dog one. And the Spitfire Mark 1 normal. Just one on its own.
Very nice.
So cool. That'll be up as well, so anybody's interested and get the names down for those. So yeah,
yes, definitely. I've still got a load of. Sorry, go on.
No, carry on, and then we'll do this at the end. What I've got to say.
All right. So obviously got reviews going up there. You've seen those ones. You can go off and see those now. I'll link them down below. As I say, the 109 will be up with you today. The 32nd version will be up with you tomorrow. And as I say, I've got a box down there of lots of other things, including probably on Friday we'll get this little guy up as well. So this is the Oldsmobile, literally, Richard Olds one for the Phantom. And again, we've got, as we said before, I'll get these done probably over the weekend as well. And then they'll be making their way up next week, this little lot as well. So we've got loads of different reviews, including this little guy as well. I'll slip him in somewhere. I think that's it. So I'm up to my neck in reviews and stuff at the moment. So it's all good. So yes.
Yes, I'll get some more down to you when we get the triplanes in and stuff.
Yeah, cool. Be nice to look at that one.
So that's what I was going to say, which I forgot to say last week, was about Trumpetta and their licensing for Transformers.
Yes.
My esteemed colleague here will scoot round and find some pictures for you.
Right, okay, yes.
But
they're up here.
Trumpetta have got the licensing for the film versions of the Transformers. So whatever's been in the new films, I think they can do. They can't do the classics like when we were kids, I'm afraid.
No.
But Optimus Prime's in there, Bumblebee, Megatron, I would have thought.
Yeah.
I don't know any others. Who else was in there? Starscream, was he one?
Yeah, no,
I
he's
wasn't really
in there
into
still.
Transformers as a kid, but quite like him now. I definitely need a Bumblebee because my wife absolutely loves Bumblebee. So if I can get one for Christmas, she'll be having Bumblebee.
Have you seen Bumblebee the film?
Oh, she has. I've not watched it. She taped it. It was on, and she started watching it with Lydia. And I think Lydia got a bit bored, so she's watched half of it. But yeah, I've not watched it. Have you watched it?
Yeah, you'll have to do it. It's a wonder she's not going to make you paint a car like that.
I did say, well, what about my Beetle? Yeah, shall I paint it yellow? Yeah, I did say, shall I do it yellow? I tell you what I did watch. This is a bit off topic, but I watched Venom.
Yes, it's a good film, that. Yeah.
I actually enjoyed that. Me and Leslie had film night Saturday night because it was our wedding anniversary in the week before. I said, right, well, we'll have a film night. I'll stop in and actually it was a very good film.
I'm
not
Venom.
A massive Marvel sort of superhero thing, but I actually enjoy it. I think Tom Hardy's a good actor anyway. And he's good.
He plays it very well.
So if he's not the next James Bond, then really, isn't it?
There's no hope for anyone.
No, but there we go. So
anyway, right, okay, well, that's it for today then, guys. Don't forget, you can get all this stuff, usual thing, over at the PM store. You can get hold of Matt as well via the Contact Me on the PM store page, or via me at Flooring Models, and I can pass on any information you need. We'd love to see you on Sunday. If you want to come and join us for the auction, we'd love to see you then. Matt is on tomorrow night on the Flooring Models evening show.
Yes.
Aren't you? Yes, you are, with John.
Yeah.
So they'll be on as well. So we've got them there. Just before we go, we have got a question. Sorry, I just remembered we've got a question. There's not many in here. Hold on. Where are we? Live. No, wrong one. Questions. Sorry, I do remember we had a Ask PM Wednesday. So Lynn just saying, Phil and Matt, guys, just purchased the Edard Profi Pack F63, which is the one I did. I'm planning on building it along with Phil. I just need to find the Hataka paint colours. Oh, well, it depends which one you're doing. If you wanted to...
Is Dark Sea Blue 01?
It is, literally. Dark Sea Blue is 001.
What's
and the mid blue is 027.
Yeah.
And if you do want the insignia white, although watch my review and you won't, it is 049 for the insignia white. But they're the colours for this guy. So he's there.
Yeah.
So he's just ready for final assembly now, so that's quite nice. But that's the colours for it. The insignia white, just do what I do. Just use Tamiya and mix a tiny bit in, and it gives you a very nice colour. We prefer the colour.
Yeah.
So that's that one. Neil is asking about, can we get hold of the F15C?
Yeah, they're coming in. They're on order. We're hoping to get them in October. I think they're doing the Great Wall Hobbies. Last say me and Phil were on about this earlier on. We're literally getting the old range in.
Yes. So we'll have the lot.
All the S15s, the SU35s, the MiG-29s. Yeah, loads of it. It's coming in. Yes. So,
yeah, coming in.
Yeah.
How do you replicate? Keith says drops of mud. Keith, go and watch yesterday's show. I did it for you. I even demoed it. No pressure, but I did a full demo of how to do it. So watch yesterday's Q&A show, and your question, you obviously asked it in that one as well. So I have done it. And last up, Gordon says, morning guys, with Mrs. M working at International Bomber Command Centre in Lincoln, and interest has been pricked into World War II bombers. So he's basically saying, looking for 172nd, the best ones for the Hampton, Whitley, Halifax, Stirling. Which manufacturer offerings do you suggest?
Right, okay, we could do this. Right, the Hampton, if you can get it, is the Vallon one, but you want the AZ version of it because that's got the clear parts that fit. Now, it is discontinued, but I think you can still get the clear parts from AZ.
Yeah.
But you might have to buy the Vallon kit because the Vallon kit ones are too wide. They just do not fit the fuselage one bit.
Yeah.
The Halifax would probably be the Revell one. Yep.
Yeah, because I built that. There's a video build on that.
Yeah. The Whitley is definitely the Airfix one.
Yeah.
Fantastic kit. And the Stirling, to be honest, would be the Artillery one.
Yeah. That's where I'll go as well.
I think the only problem you've got with all them is, apart from the Halifax, I think they're all discontinued. I know the Mark 1 Stirling is discontinued.
Yes.
I know the Whitley, I think, is now discontinued. You can get them, though. They're pretty readily available, the Airfix Whitley. I don't even know if we ain't got one in the shop. The Hampton might be the hard one to get hold of.
I was going to say, we got a Stirling in the shop.
No.
We did have. At one point, they're gone now. I was going to say, I remember when we brought them in.
I think you can still get the Target Tug one, but you can't get the Bomber one.
Oh,
which
right.
is bizarre to me, because I think I would have retired
to the
other one and kept the Bomber one, because that's the one they want.
Yeah, you would have thought.
But anyway, they are still... You can get them if you shop around usual places, either, or ask on the forum. But yes, they're the ones you want.
Yes. Cool. Very good. So there we go. Right, that will do us for today then, guys. Thank you very much for joining us. As always, say you can catch me and Matt tomorrow night live on the Flooring Model Show, 7:30, usual place you'll find us. If not, we'll see you on Sunday night. And if you can't be bothered with all of them, we'll be back here, same time, same place, everything, next Wednesday for another PM show.
Yep.
Lovely. Thank you for watching. See you later, guys. Bye.
Bye.